News 46 is brought to you by Smitty's Cards and Coins. Would you like to know what your collectibles are worth? Come by 2281 Postal Road, Unit 4, across from the post office. News is also brought to you by Dickey's Barbecue Pit, Pahrump, where we speak barbecue. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Tonight on News 46, 3 are transported, dozens evaluated following a chemical spill.
An area-affiliated medical doctor loses his license following an arrest.
And the American Cancer Society receives a donation. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Deanna O'Donnell and Eunette Gentry. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Good evening. It's Tuesday, August 23rd, 2016. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Eunette Gentry for News 46.
Healthcare workers and patients were evacuated from Healthcare Partners Clinic on Calvada today following a chemical spill.
We were dispatched originally for a report of a chemical spill at Healthcare Partners at 1501 East Calvada. Upon arrival, we met with staff who informed us that approximately 1 gallon of a cleaning agent was spilled onto the floor. As a result of that spillage, there was some odor that created some nausea, feelings, things like that. We also know of at least one exposure of the product directly onto them. We established a command, we evacuated the building, we created an EMS group who specifically was assigned to triaging all the persons that were located in the building at the time of the spill. We also mitigated the spill itself, started a ventilation process. Through the triage, we identified 3 patients that required transport from the facility to Desert View Hospital. There was a 4th patient that was on location, however it was unrelated to an exposure. It was actually a chest pain that was also transported to Desert View. The Healthcare Partners crew were extremely helpful, very knowledgeable as far as how many people that they had. They just did an awesome job here today.
Was this a cleaning crew that was hired by Healthcare Partners, or was it Healthcare Partners themselves?
It wasn't actually a cleaning crew as it was cleaning product. So it's a material that's in a normal usage for facilities like this, and it was spilled to the ground, and again, approximately 1 gallon, and easily contained. However, the result of that spill is what caused our issues here today.
Is this like the similar incident that they had last year?
No, this was a much easier situation to manage. We didn't have to actually go into a full decon. A partial decon was actually taken care of by Healthcare Partners. That person was transported to Desert View where a second decon occurred. So all things were managed very easy in the very early stages.
Are they taking patients now?
The building will be closed until a more thorough cleaning of that environment takes place.
All right, and then you had 38 total?
38 persons were medically evaluated. 3 were transported as a result of the exposure. 1 non-exposure was also transported from this facility. In addition, we were also managed at least 5 or 6 additional 911 assignments in our community at the same time.
I know that you had to triage those too.
Absolutely. Everyone was triaged, and all persons associated with this building today, including a person who was working on the HVAC system, was medically evaluated.
Did you identify what kind of product it was exactly?
We do. We have it's metricide, and it's a material that's used in facilities such as this.
A Utah doctor with a local connection has lost his license.
Dr. Simon Lee Wilcox, who had offices in Utah and Henderson and an association with Pahrump, was found guilty in May with 6 others for conspiracy to distribute drugs and possession after federal agents filed a search warrant on his offices in Utah. Wilcox owned Star Medical Institute and Wilcox Longevity Institute. He treated locals at affiliated therapy on Postal Road sporadically under his license over 3 years ago before the allegations and the investigation. investigation. Wilcox was found guilty of possibly having prescribed over 81,000 painkillers on fake prescriptions to multiple accomplices, which included ID forgery. Officials say the doctor and his associates engaged in the illegal distribution of controlled substances, including oxycodone, Lortab, testosterone, Adderall, and Xanax, outside the ordinary course of professional practice and not for legitimate medical purposes. Court documents state Mr. Wilcox is certified in family practice medicine, but holds himself as an expert in addiction, pain management, laser, lipo, stem cell therapy, and hormone therapy. He was allegedly licensed in 7 states and claimed to have been a specialist in rapid drug and alcohol detox and in sexual dysfunction in men and women. Simon Wilcox has now lost his license and has been sentenced to 8 years in jail and 3 years probation for his crime. And there will be a trailhead or bridle path built at the end of Homestead Road for off-road vehicles, horseback riders, and whomever would like to explore the desert.
For funding in the amount of $10,000.
Mr. Chairman.
This is for the trailhead and bridle path.
This is the parking lot, basically. Mr. Chairman, we've had a presentation before, and I read the backup, and again, I'm supportive of the idea, but mostly because people are pulling up over there and parking and letting their horses out anyway, and they're doing it not on county or town-owned property, but on private property. I would approve up to $10,000 contingent upon to do gravel, fence it in. We're not going to do trailheads at this point, but just get a place for them to park. If there's money, you can move ahead with the picnic tables and those niceties inside, but anybody working on this, and volunteers are great.
My recommendation was going to be to fund it from capital, but it's not a capital asset for the town because it's going on county property, so I think that might be a little sticky. I'd like to just fund it from contingency.
Okay, I'll fund it.
If you approve the...
To fund it from contingency would be my motion, and all volunteers must sign the forms. There's a volunteer form, so that indemnifies us if they get hurt, and move forward with that.
As requested, this was all based on a voluntary process. Not going to fall back to say, oh, well, we just can't get any more volunteers to go do this. Now we want the town to go pay for it. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. It goes away if you lose the volunteers.
Also, a lot of trailheads up in the wilderness, they have a sign that states bring in, take out, but we will be having a trash can there for them to put it in so that they don't really have to take it home.
Concern is maintenance costs into the future. That's what I was asking
Correct.
for, and that's what I asked for last time. So,
right.
So my motion was approve the $10,000, move forward with the parking area, the gravel, and the fencing. Then come back to us and let us know, and let me know what the maintenance costs would be should your volunteers fail.
Okay, and the vote?
All right.
Vote.
Let's call for the vote on this one.
Oops. Aye.
Aye. Aye.
This project is a perfect candidate for a recreational trails program grant, where we're using federal tax dollars and a matching grant with Nye County and Town of Pahrump tax dollars. We can't go back and get a grant after we've already done the project. To that end, I ask that we hold off on this while we prepare an RTP grant that's administered through the Nevada State Parks and proceed based on the grant.
It's a private organization, so why would you want us to do that?
Because they're asking for public dollars. That's the reason. If it was all private dollars, the question would be moot. But the fact that they are asking for public dollars, in other words, it's back to tax dollars. That you're spending tax dollars, let's get the maximum benefit.
Don Cox, you know, this has been going on way, way too long. This should, forget the federal grants. You know what federal grants usually mean, there's strings attached. These people's been trying to get this on, and there's a certain person been putting a burr in it every time they come forward. Give them the money, let them get it going.
Okay, well,
thank you.
We've already voted. I'm going to close public comment. We're done.
Stick around. News 46 will be back after this break with your court report and news on what happened to a man stung by bees more than 200 times.